My name is Gasia Mikaelian, and I'm coming to you through KTVU Fox 2 News in the San Francisco Bay Area. Today, we're talking about ways to boost your mood. It's likely you've had some down days. I'm so happy to welcome to this conversation Lisa Tenner. You're a creativity expert, and you have some creative ways to help boost our moods. Thanks for being with us.
My pleasure, Gasia. And as you said, we're all stressed and overwhelmed, so we need easy tips, right? And these are going to be really easy.
Right. In fact, what I like about so many of them is that you don't need to buy a thing. They all rely on things I can do, I already have, or are right outside the window. So let's start with number one, which is something I haven't done in years, but you say humming can help feel better. Tell me about humming.
Yeah, it calms the nervous system and it relaxes us, and it can even help you sleep. So, of course, if you get a better night's sleep, you're going to be less stressed. And you can hum like a single tone, or you can make up a tune and have fun with it. Be creative.
It's kind of like, I assume it's pretty close to singing. I mean, I've heard people say when you're in a rotten mood, just sing, even if you don't feel like singing. And soon you might feel like singing. So do humming and singing sort of work the same way?
That's a good question. I don't know completely. I think singing does uplift us, but there is something about humming, and I think it's the vibration in the body. So it might be even a little different.
Yeah. I remember when my babies were little, I would hum to them, and sometimes that kind of helped calm them down.
Yeah.
Tip number two is something I've been doing, since like elementary school. Back then we called it writing in a diary. Now we call it journaling. How can journaling help us get through some tough times?
So journaling has been proven again by research to change us from a more negative mood to a more uplifting mood, a more positive outlook on life. And I would say, journal both the things that are challenging, the problems that you want to resolve, as well as your gratitude. And that's a balanced approach, and both are going to help you. I've got my journal here.
Oh,
One of my many journals.
One of your, yeah, I have all my old journals like in a stack in the garage, and it's funny because sometimes when I go back and I read my entries, focusing around a certain, let's say professional disappointment, or the deepest love I ever had in 8th grade that was not returned, and back when that was happening, I felt like the world was ending. But now I think, oh, guess what? I learned to love again, or guess what? I was able to get my career back on track. And that in itself is helpful.
That's a really good point, that not just writing in the journal, but reading it is very positive and helpful.
All right, let's talk about something. I've been doing even more baking than I usually do. And my little boys, they'll sniff the air. They'll say, is that cinnamon rolls or is that pizza? And I think they're enjoying this meal or this treat even before I've put it on the table. So how important is the sense of smell?
Well, the sense of smell is like our most basic sense, when we're evolving and growing the womb, and so it's really important. Got a little something from outdoors here, but of course, flowers, anything in nature can make us feel good. As you said, the smell of something baking and the spices, it's really nurturing. Another thing we can do is aromatherapy. I have some essential oil here, and some uplifting scents are things like clary sage, wild orange, lemon, any kind of citrus scent is really nice.
I used to make, and the oranges I'm getting at the store now aren't as good as they were maybe 2 or 3 months ago. But man, when the oranges were great, and I would just, open up the peel, just the oils would burst, and I'd think, wow, this is better than any candle you can buy in a department store.
It's true.
Yeah, good. All right. So moving from smell, let's go to movement. A lot of people are, stuck in the house for work, can't go outside, at least here on the West Coast, because of smoke in the air from wildfires.
Yeah.
How can we still get our good movement in?
So if you can't go outside, of course, walking outside is wonderful. You can practice things like yoga, dancing, qigong, do things just in your house. And one of the things I love, and this is so simple, Gasia, is it's called Cheekbone Bouncing. Martial artists have been doing this for thousands of years because it relaxes and releases the whole body, head, shoulders, knees, everything, all the way down to your feet. And your feet are flat on the floor. You're going to stand, but I'll do it sitting. And you really just bounce. You don't have to go up on your toes. Keep it simple. You don't want to hurt yourself, but just bounce. And my hands are kind of like this. You can't see them in the camera necessarily, but it's just so relaxing. You'll just feel all that tension drip off you. And in the Qigong classes where I learned, we would just do that at the beginning of every single session. And You can also do it outside if you can get outside, and then you get that nice benefit of your feet on the grass.
Yeah. And I like it because it's something pretty much anybody at almost any, athletic skill level can do.
Hmm.
Let's move to something else that I'm going to have you explain, belly breathing. I know the importance of taking deep breaths and of breathing slowly, but what exactly is belly breathing?
So, a lot of times we're breathing from up here, and I was very much like somebody who breathes up here and breathe through my mouth. So, the best thing is to breathe through your nose. And you want to take your hands and put them on your abdomen, just 3 fingers width below your belly button.
Okay.
And just focus your attention there. You don't have to do anything fancy, but as you breathe in, let yourself feel your belly expand underneath your hands. And then breathing out, you can sigh or just relax. Feel yourself relax and let go of some of that tension. And it's really, really powerful. And a little tip: if your nose is stuffy, this is a weird thing. Also, it's kind of from Chinese traditional medicine. But if you put your hand um, around your other finger and wrap it around and try breathing through your nose, it'll start to clear your nose. Really weird thing, but it works.
Okay. All
And
right.
you
Well,
might try different fingers too.
okay. Okay. So I don't have any congestion problems now, but I'll remember that because I know many people do. Good.
Yeah.
Belly breathing. We talked about getting outside in nature. Let's talk about finding personal connections. And that can be very difficult because
Hmm.
in some ways I feel like I said, I'm inside the house. I don't get to talk with my newsroom friends. It is me, my husband, and our 2 sons. And pretty much that's it. Take it
Hmm.
from there.
Yeah, it's so important to have that connection. So even, the few people you are connected with, make sure you take that time to do something special, whether it's just sitting in the living room and chatting with each other or watching a show. It doesn't have to be anything super fancy, but spend time together and every single day and touch, right? It really helps us, just even a hug or just rub somebody's shoulder. But also make time, especially for those people in your life who are isolated and alone. And it's great to plan a phone call or a Zoom call with them because then they have something to look forward to, and so do you. So that's an extra benefit, is that looking forward to it. And once you can get outside, of course, planning walks with people, socially distant, can be a nice way to expand that group of people you're connecting with.
Yeah, I used to sort of think that just showing up at someone's house was nice, but now it's like you really can't go anywhere unless I warn you. Tomorrow at 3 o'clock, I'm going to see you, and it's right. That anticipation is almost as nice as the actual, little porch visit itself. Finally, you're asking us all to focus on something that I know we've heard the word before, and the word is gratitude.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people look at the situation, and I'm guilty of this myself. My sons say we didn't really get a summer this year, right? They've each had birthdays during the pandemic, no friends, no nothing. There is so much to be concerned or upset about. How can we turn the situation on its head and find some positive and be grateful for that?
Yeah, it's so important, and the research shows it, but it's not always easy. And one is just to think, wow, I'm worried about these things, but right now in this moment, I am healthy, or I'm getting healthier, or whatever it is. And you can be grateful for the single breath you're taking. I'm right above my computer is a painting that my mom did, and she passed away a few years ago. But I have this beautiful art. It's a painting of the beach, and it's so simple and so beautiful. So you can find, or maybe find some art if you don't have it. You can order online, but find things that do bring you joy, and really allow yourself to take them in. It just takes a moment and a breath to look at that beautiful thing, and feel your heart expand. I've got a picture of my grandma here too,
Oh,
and people in our lives are something we can always feel grateful for.
right, right. It's, I feel, like millions of Americans, I've been working from home for 6, almost 7 months now. And I spent the first month or two kind of really just bemoaning the situation, right? Because the work isn't the same, the interaction isn't the same. It's not the same. But as soon as I realized, guess what? I get to see my sons pretty much all morning now. And I think I would have never had this time with them if I had to be up, and out at the office before the crack of dawn. So even though so much else isn't good, I really think I get to see my boys grow up before my eyes, and we spend so much more time together. And for that, I am grateful.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I'm so happy. All right, so let me do this, Lisa. I know a lot of people are interested in what you have to say and want to learn more about it. Are there any online resources that you'd like to point our viewers toward if they want to learn more about, sparking their own positivity, their own creativity, or maybe just getting through the day?
Yeah, well, I do have a lot of blog posts on creativity, so that's a great place to start. There's so much more we could talk about when it comes to creativity and how that makes us feel great and it really gives us purpose. So come over to my blog. It's lisatenner.com/blog, and that's a great place to find resources for creativity as well as writing. And I always answer questions there as well and appreciate comments.
I love it. Interactive, and Tenor is Tener. So thank you so much, Lisa Tenor, creativity expert. I feel a little better after talking with you, and then I'm going to go put some of these actions, into my regular life. Thank you again, Lisa.
Thank you, Gasia.